Hey guys, welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to be reviewing everyone's favorite football head's first theatrical film, Hey Arnold the movie, and this is as part of Hey Arnold month, an event I'm doing on World of Meli from now on every November. We're going to be celebrating Hey Arnold. And since this is our first Hey Arnold month, as well as all leading up to the final release of Hey Arnold the Jungle movie, I thought, why not take a look back at Arnold's first movie. So like all of World of Meli reviews, we're going to discuss the plot as well as, and then we're just going to get into the review. So the movie opens up with a humane shot of Arnold's neighborhood and the city around it as it gives the opening title. And then we see everyone, like all the kids at PS 118 playing in the water and stuff because it's summer apparently. I just wanted to point that out. All out of nowhere, some bulldozers just come by and start just destroying stuff. And then we cut to Arnold and Gerald, who are just playing basketball. And apparently they had a game with 5th graders, and apparently they got their asses whooped. And they hear this news, and we find out that Sheck, a multi-millionaire corporate president of Sheck Industries, or Future Tech Industries if you want to get technical, wants to tear down Arnold's neighborhood and build up a fancy mall. And because there is still a lot of people who live in it, and they clearly stay on the news, if you want to know how this will affect your homes and businesses, you're just going to have to move away. There's nothing you can do about it. The paper's written. So Arnold, his friends, mainly Gerald, and all the other PS 118 students, as well as everyone in the neighborhood, band together to basically try to save the neighborhood, and they have 30 days to do so. And as they're discussing their plan, Helga, on top of a building stalking Arnold, basically just rants about how much she loves Arnold, and if they move away, they'll never be able to see each other again. So, and then we get a montage of their protesting for the next 30 days, and then the final day finally comes. Well, not the final day, the final few days, and they decide that they're a huge party that will be so big enough, so loud enough that they'll end up on the news and they'll have to notice their efforts. So they'll do this. However, Nick Vermicelli, a character from the Season 2 premiere, he intercepted their permits and making the whole party illegal, and the fuzz go up to shut it down. So basically everyone loses hope. All the boarders are packing, all of the citizens of the neighborhood, they giving up hope. They are packing their things and they're getting ready to move away. And we see that Sid and Stinky's friendship and how they'll be affected by this. We see Mr. Green and his business and how he'll be affected by this, which I don't understand, consider he's part of the city council. He's not screwed. So we get to the borders, and everyone's sad because they're never going to see each other again. However, Grandpa tells the story about how a similar situation, well, not a similar situation, but a kind of situation like this happened to his grandpa, his own grandpa. It takes place after a pig war, a fictional war that happened in the series long before Grandpa Phil and stuff like that. How the British were still taxing them, and 5 cents per tomato! And this incident is called the Tomato Incident, and they drove the British out of their land. This plot point will be important throughout the whole movie, and it will definitely be important later. So after hearing this, Arnold realizes that their neighborhood is a historical landmark. Because of the pig war and because of the tomato incident, that makes it a historical landmark. So Arnold and Gerald band together to find the historical document that proves that their neighborhood is a historical landmark, thus making it illegal for Sheck to tear it down in the first place, and they only have 48 hours to do so. Arnold and Gerald begins their search for this historical document, so per se, but they have no luck at all. However, they get a call from an anonymous stranger called Deep Voice. They tell Arnold and Gerald that the document is located in Future Tech Industries. You know, the place where owned by the guy who wants to tear down their neighborhood. And so Arnold and Gerald begin. They get into a lot of shenanigans. They break into a bar for adults because Nick Vermicelli is there at one point, and it turns out he has the keys to the vault that the historical document is in. So they have to get the key from him. they follow him, like, they pull at least 2 all-nighters. They follow him, and they eventually get the key. But before that, we get some good faces and some new, never-used-again faces. First of all, we got Mr. Bailey from one of my favorite Arnold episodes of all time, Arnold's Christmas. And he returns. He plays kind of a plot point. I don't know. Arnold and Gerald first approach him to, like, look up the historical document, and that's what prompts them to fail and then deep voice calling them. But that fails, and he sends them to the funeral bearer thing. Like, he has an insight of, like, all the historical documents in town because that's his kink. I don't know. And then Bridget, she is good, and I am pissed that they never use her again. Bridget she basically works together with this agency. It's never revealed what her agency is, and she's basically spies, and like they have their spy gear and stuff. It's basically Men in Black. To help contribute to saving the neighborhood, they give Arnold and Gerald their own spy supplies, free of charge. I'm still pissed that she never gets actually used in the series. And so they head to Nick Vermicelli's house, and they get the key, and they're on their way to Future Tech Industries. Now, there's a bunch of subplots in this movie. Like, for example, the subplot of the Boarders having their own adventure trying to save the neighborhood, and they plan to do, like, a whole blown-out war, and they plan to blow a huge hole in the street up with the secret tunnels, which are never mentioned in the actual show, by the way. And they plan to put a bunch of dynamite in the secret tunnels and blow up the hole so the bulldozer can't tear it down. And then we also have Big Bob, who's slowly realizing he's being used because he plans to, he supports Future Tech Industries' decision because it'll mean great for his business. But it turns out that he actually signed 51% of his company away. And so Big Bob gets pissed, and like he and Nick Vermicelli duke it out. He becomes the fucking Hulk. And, of course, Big Bob somehow loses. I don't know. I mean, look at this scrawny guy and then this big guy. I mean, how does he lose? We get back to Arnold and Gerald because those plot points aren't really important, except for Nick Vermicelli finding out his key is missing, which prompts Shek to, like, figure out what Arnold and Gerald are doing. So we cut back to Arnold and Gerald, who made it to Future Tech Industries. So, yeah. Also, remember, there's a bus driver. Remember that. And he's depressed, too. So they make it to Future Tech Industries, and they evade all the guards. They're basically spies and stuff, and they finally get to the drawer. They open it, but nothing's inside, and this is because Shek finally figured out their plan. He went in there, took the documents, and he's basically a villain. Turns out the reason Shek really wants to tear down this neighborhood is as revenge for the tomato incident. Told you it'd be important later. It turns out that Shek's grandfather, Postulon Varion von Shek, I can't pronounce it here, I'll just play the clip.
Hey, the key. What happened? Oh no. That dream I had, that angel, that wasn't no angel. It was that football-headed kid. It was really happening. He must have stole the stinking key. Yeah. Mr. Shek, it's me, Nick. Listen, I got some bad news. I think I lost the key. Yeah, the key. I think that football-headed kid took it. I don't know, I was asleep. I think he snuck in and stole it. Yeah, I know, I'm stupid.
997. 998.
Nope.
999.
Empty? Where's the document?
Looking for something? Well, here you are back again. After I patiently explained that your mission is completely hopeless, it still is. Though I'm less inclined to entertain you after you broke into my building for the second time. Did you think you could get away with this? There are cameras everywhere. I record everything that goes on day and night. Did you think I'd let you win? Let you save your little neighborhood? Don't you realize who I am? I am Alphonse Perrier du Von Scheck. I can trace my ancestry back to the founding fathers. Do you know when we lost control of this city? When that ridiculous tomato incident took place in your pathetic little neighborhood. Tearing it down and putting my name up in its place will be revenge of the sweetest kind.
But the document. Where's the document?
Unfortunately, like your little plan, it's about to go up in smoke. My guards will now lock you away where you won't cause any more trouble.
Arnold!
Ow! Oh, get them, for heaven's sake.
Put that away, come on. There you go. There they are, get them!
Arnold, I'll lose the guys on the stairway. You head for the garage. See if you can find a way out. Call me on the walkie. Go!
Hello?
Arnold, what happened?
Man, where are you?
Never mind that. Where's the document?
Burned it. Shek burned it.
Burned it?
Yeah, right in front of us. He laughed at us. He said we never had a chance. He's gonna win, deep voice.
Don't give up, Arnold.
Why not? It's over.
It's not over. There must be something. Aren't there any other copies?
No, he wouldn't make a copy. Wait a minute. There were video cameras all over the place.
Video cameras?
Yeah, the video cameras record everything that goes on in Shek's building, all the time. Shek said so himself.
Then the document must be on videotape the moment that he burned it. Arnold, if you can get to the room where the video recorders are, you can find the tape and catch him in the act of burning the document.
Yeah, and then we can show the tape to the police, and it'll be as good as the document itself. We can win, deep voice. We can save the neighborhood.
What the?
It turns out he was the leader of the British who were taxing them, and like that was like embarrassment for him. So this is his way as revenge, and it's a win-win. He gets to tear down the neighborhood of his past trauma and booming business. And they are about to arrest Arnold and Gerald for trespassing when they fucking kill a security guard and they're on the run. So now Arnold and Gerald are wanted criminals. They get caught and executed for murder. And I'm just kidding. That's not how it goes out. Arnold and Gerald are on the run, and Big Voice prompts Arnold to... Big Voice, yes. Deep Voice is trying to help them find a way out. And Arnold sees Big Voice. Yes, I keep saying Big Voice for some reason. Arnold sees Deep Voice in the distance while it's on the phone. And he prompts towards it, and we figure out it's Helga. And this is the moment that, in this whole movie, that makes it a great movie, especially for Hey Arnold watchers. Helga finally confesses her long love for Arnold. After 100 episodes, she finally confesses her love.
Maybe I don't hate you as much as I thought, okay? I guess maybe I even kind of like you a little. Heck, I guess you might even kind of say that I like you a lot.
You do? You did this for me?
That's right, hair boy. I mean, criminy. What else are you supposed to do when someone you love is in trouble?
Love?
You heard me, pal. I love you. Love you. Who else do you think has been stalking you night and day, building shrines to you in a closet, filling volumes of books with poems about you? I love you, Arnold. I've always loved you ever since I first laid eyes on your stupid football head.
And they share a really violent kiss. Like, she forces herself onto him. And Helga confesses her love, but Arnold quickly dodges out of that, saying, "But there's no time. We gotta save the neighborhood." He's not completely phased at all that he just made out with a girl. Like, seriously, I'm gonna play it right. Like, seriously, that was violent, man.
From that moment and every moment since I've lived and breathed for you, dreamed of the moment I could finally tell you my sacred feelings and could grab you and kiss you and... Oh, come here, you big lug.
There's no time for that. We've got 20 minutes to get back to the neighborhood before the bulldozers roll.
That must have hurt, actually. Oh my god. So Helga, Gerald, and Arnold team up now. And remember that bus driver I mentioned earlier? He plays an important part now. Because the reason he's depressed is because his girlfriend left him. And he realized that the neighborhood that Shek is tearing down is the neighborhood where his girlfriend lives, and he'll never see her again. And so there's this really great bus chase scene. And Gerald actually drives. He's 9 years old, and he can't reach the pedals. So Gerald, Helga, and Arnold, they work together to drive a bus at 120 miles per hour. The bus is smoking. And meanwhile, we have Future Tech Industries helicopters, Shek's minivan, or not minivan, like Sweet Ride, Humma Humma, and we got the bulldozer, we got explosives. They try to kill Arnold, Helga, Gerald, and the bus driver. They try to kill him, and like this whole third act is amazing. And the bus crashes into the neighborhood, like prompting the bulldozer to stop. They get the document. They show Mayor Dixie the document. And all that's well that's end well. Shek gets arrested for attempted murder, and all's well that ends well, and Arnold and Helga pretend nothing happened. And that is the story of Hey Arnold the movie. Let's get into this review. So let me give you some insight about the history of this movie as well as the Jungle movie. Hey Arnold the Jungle movie was originally supposed to be Hey Arnold the movie. And Hey Arnold the movie was supposed to be a 3-part television movie called Arnold Saves the Neighborhood Parts 1, 2, and 3. And it was supposed to be a 70-minute TV movie event. However, after screen tests with kids proved well, Paramount decided to push it for a theatrical release, delay the Jungle movie to give them more time to polish and stuff like that. Hey Arnold the movie did well, however, because it didn't do as well as the Rugrats movie, which made over $100 million, and Hey Arnold the movie made 3 times its budget, but it only made $15 million, but you have to make at least double your budget to be considered a success, and made 3 times, but in their eyes, since it didn't do as well as Rugrats, that was considered a failure. They canceled Hey Arnold, they canceled the Jungle movie, and yeah. So, just remember that this movie was originally supposed to be a TV movie. That's what I'm trying to get at. And this movie, long story short, if you just want to get out of this, because in my raw recording we're at 14 minutes and 25 seconds. If you just want to get out of this, I love this movie, and I'm not the only one who shares this opinion. I love this movie. It's definitely a great movie, but I do think it should have stayed a TV movie and not a theatrical movie. Hey Arnold the movie has great moments. The first act is, I don't think it's strong at all. I think it's weak. However, the second and third act really pick up the action, the tension, the drama, and stuff like that. And once again, the best scene in this entire movie is the last 15 minutes. That's the best of this entire movie. But this movie, once again, it is really great, but I do not think it deserved its theatrical release, and I do think the Jungle movie should have been released those many years ago. However, not a bad movie by any means, and I can definitely see why they chose it to be a theatrical movie. It definitely feels like a Hey Arnold, like, if you ignore the journal and if you ignore Parents' Day as a whole, it definitely feels like a Hey Arnold movie. But once again, first act is weak, the second and third act pick it up a bit, and the last 15 minutes are the reason you should watch this movie. Like, it is. It's so intense. But overall, what would I give Hey Arnold the movie? I'd give it a 6.5 out of 10. It's okay. So, Hey Arnold the Jungle movie is coming out in exactly 10 days on the day of this recording. It's coming out on November 24th, and you know we're going to be reviewing that too. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this review, this recap/review. Thank you guys so much for watching, and as always, take care.